Hello everybody, this is a quick tutorial on how to use the Elite Patch proxy tools for Windows. This tool, in a basic sense, is a wizard to help you create your own proxy for use in your host file. So if you edit a website, you can access the proxy through your host file. This assumes that you have nginx installed. Now, I'm going to run the program and I'm going to talk about some stuff as we go through it. Just bear with me. It's going to be a little bit long of a video, but not too bad. We run the program, it's going to immediately pop up. I haven't put any splash screens or anything in here. First thing you're going to see is this proxy creation wizard. This is the the backbone basically of the entire program. Some settings, number of cores. You can put in any number you want. Just keep in mind, if you put in more than you actually have, it may cause a high load on your server. Each core is supposed to be assigned its own worker process for nginx, and that's what this selection does. Generally speaking, most people have a dual core server or more. In Linux, cores will show up as threads. Threads will show up as cores. Sorry. Threads will show up as cores, so if you have a dual core processor with hyperthreading, it'll come up with 4 cores. That's okay to put number 4 in there because it still works the same way. Each nginx worker is a thread, so you would actually have 4 threads. Location of the nginx.conf. When you install nginx, whether it be through nginx CP, directly from source using yum or apt-get or whatever command line utility you like to use, you're always going to have a spot where nginx is located. Generally speaking, when you compile from source, it's going to be the default one here, user local nginx. Once you know that path, put it in this box and press the generate button. That generated your nginx.conf. Now we're at the vhost file section. Now a vhost is a virtual host, and basically it's a set of instructions that tells nginx when this domain is accessed, do this. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to first show you guys one that's based on a subdomain, like when I started out I had cat.elite.so was a subdomain proxy. So we're going to check this box. The site we're redirecting to, we're just going to use kickass torrents for an example, cat.ph, and the subdomain is cat.elite.so. Now the IP address, you're going to enter the IP address of the proxy server. I'm going to leave it default here because I don't need it at this point. I already have it set up. But now we're going to check this button that says add more proxies if we want to make more than one. Click the generate button, resets the form. Now we're going to do one that does not have a subdomain. It's just going to assume that when you go to cat.ph at this IP address, that's the only one that's going to go to this site. So in this case, we're actually going to use heat.com. It's going to be the same IP address, or if you have multiple servers, it's going to be the IP address of whatever server you want this particular site to be on. And we're going to have this as our last vhost file, so just click uncheck add more proxies, click generate. It's going to pop up a message box and tell you Explorer will open after this message closes. Please upload the folder marked upload to your server's root drive, then restart nginx. Feel free to submit your proxy to elite.so for inclusion in the Elite patch. You click OK, it's going to open up Explorer just like it said, and there's a folder in here called upload. Now, you don't want to upload this directly to your root. You want to go into the folder and upload the subfolder. So in this case, because I had set it to user local nginx in the beginning, it's going to be a user folder right here. We're going to not open up Chrome, we're going to open up FileZilla. We're going to connect to our server. Now, I'm using FileZilla. I don't know what program you'd be using, but general consensus, you go to your server, you go to the root of your drive, which is going to show you these kind of folders, assuming it's Linux. And you're just going to come in here to the upload folder and drag user up to here. And now it may ask you to overwrite. If it does, just yes, understand. If this is your first time installing some of this stuff, nginx.conf will ask you to overwrite, but the vhosts will not. And now once it's up, you're just going to yeah, that's nice. You're going to SSH into your server, and just, I'm on my server, so just type service nginx restart. and it's going to restart the server. If you don't have a service for that, you can also I'll give you a file included with this program that will install the proper thing in the etc init.d folder, so you can just type that real quickly. Once you've uploaded it, now you can edit your host file to access this particular proxy. If you want to start configuration for a different server, just click the Start Over button. Problem solved. Now, you got this nice proxy up. You want to submit it. Well, you can submit it to us at elite.so for inclusion with the Elite patch, or just keep it used for yourself. Keep in mind, if you submit it to us, there are a few guidelines, and that's in this button here. You click it, it's going to pop up a web page. The web page gives you the current requirements of all proxies. Obviously, this goes without saying, you can't have payment for access. I mean, come on. It's a free site that gives away pirated material. Paying for it, what's the point of pirating in the first place? Don't have an overabundance of ads. You can have one or two on your own personal proxy. Like, on the proxy itself, you can have a couple, and the web page that actually you're proxying to can have whatever they want, because I can't control that. But don't have like pop-ups and pop-unders and ads all over the screen so the user can't see the page and gets annoyed and finally walks away. Next, don't download anything to the user's computer without their permissions. This means anything. It could be a cookie, it could be a executable file, it could be an app for Mac. I don't care what it is. If they don't approve of it, you don't put it on their computer. Next, don't redirect to any site other than the one being proxied to. For example, if you're running a cat.ph proxy, don't use it to redirect to an anti-piracy website. Cat.ph redirects to cat.ph only. Don't have a landing page. This means if someone goes to your proxy, they automatically see the site. They don't see this little page that says click here to visit this site, or click here to visit my own home site. No, you go into a proxy, you want to see the site you're going to the proxy for. Lastly, so far, this can be changed, but keep in mind, this website, whatever proxy you're running, it cannot be a copy. So, example, if you submit a proxy to me for the torrent, the Pirate Bay, it can't be a clone of the Pirate Bay just sitting on your server trying to get hits for it. It's got to actually proxy to the Pirate Bay. And the same, I mean, another example would be Cat. If you do a proxy to Cat, you can't have a clone of Cat sitting on your server trying to get that traffic instead of actually going to the proxy. So far, that's it on the proxy submission. Obviously, if I find somebody doing something stupid, this list will be edited, added to, or whatever. But for the time being, simple rules, easy to follow, not a problem. Come back in here to the Elite Patch Proxy Tools. The next button you'll see here is Terms of Service. You don't absolutely need to read these. They're generic terms, but for legality purposes, they're always included. You want to go to a web page. I mean, you want to click the button and view it. Then be my guest. It's just the general terms of service. I'm not going to go through them because it may take a little bit of time, and I don't feel like going through that. Alright, now when entering the submission form, you want to tell me what site is this proxy for. So we're proxying to cat.ph. You want to tell me the IP address of the proxy. Now it's 192.168.1.1 because that's the one we set up when we create a proxy. I want your email, and that's not to share with the world. That's just in case I find a problem with your proxy, like a bug, or maybe you missed one guideline and I want to tell you about it. Just enter your email. So, oops. Nice if I could spell tonight, right? Now, your internet handle is like your nickname. Like, for instance, mine is GigaWhiz. This is for credit purposes. I can say on the proxies, I can say credits go to your username for hosting this proxy. And lastly is the message to the reviewer. This is purely optional. It basically just tells me hey, there's some extra stuff here. So, like, maybe you wanted to tell me the proxy is going to be down for a week, or the proxy is going to be late. The proxy setup will be late. Now, before you can press the submit button, you got to check this little box. It says, I agree to the terms of service of the elite patch / elite.so, and I've also followed the proxy guidelines. Then click submit. It'll take a second to send an email, but it'll send me an email, which actually my iPhone just got. It's going to say submitted successfully. Click OK, and that's that. Now, me or one of my staff will review your submission, and if it's successful, you will see your name appear on the Elite Patch Proxy Sponsors page, and your server will be added to the list for the Elite Patch. And that's that. So, have a good one. If you need any help, I'm always available on elite.so. Send me a PM. Put a bug report in. Doesn't matter. Just ask away. Have a good one.